filtering out. We touched on that yesterday with a stand-in for Nouns. They still made it to the grand finals in spite of that. And so all of these kind of different issues that we're rolling with CS2, not least of them, really makes this an interesting tournament and an interesting test bed for Counter-Strike 2 and for these NA organizations.
Well, we're hopping right in. We're starting early today, so we're going to get into Vertigo, the pick of Forsaken, who banned Mirage, EG banning Anubis, EG picking into Inferno for map number 2. Map number 3 will be overpasses. Forsaken removed Ancient. EG got rid of Nuke. After yesterday, I don't think either team really wants to play that map. And so Forsaken will start on the T side of Vertigo. They destroyed Wildcard on that yesterday. EG yet to play it on CS2. Automatic tapping down a range. Can't figure out anything just yet. And he's done from the side from Cxzi. Stanislaw onto George as well. Junior retreating all the way back towards Jump. He'll wait for rotations. He'll wait to get a pick. But Forsaken are also pumping the brakes. They're not going to go too heavily in. And that's why Nade Stack comes in. Night Junior. Hex at least getting one in return. But it's a 4v2. This flame from Walco is going to have to be huge. And he got 1, 2 from Walco. Even man count now. Cxzi puts him down. It's all up to Hex. And he's already struck once.
Struck once, and he's to strike 2 more times, and there's no kit on the field either. Infinite double swinging with Cxzi really does him in. Not a chance there. Well played from Forsaken, using the numbers to their advantage. They come out the gate swinging with a T-side pistol around the victory. As you mentioned, we didn't get to dive into the map bans before the game started, but we have Vertigo for the first, picked by Forsaken, EG picking Inferno, and the decider being Overpass if necessary. So we do have a full 3 maps ready to go. The investment for Forsaken is kind of what you'd expect. 4 rifles, 1 SMG, and EG have invested nothing. Precisely $0. Just USPs on the board. The numbers game definitely does work with these pistols, and it could work out here on a site, but Stanislaw still strikes first, walking forward with that MAC-10. The nades have already been punishing as well from Forsaken. We'll have to see if that continues as a trend throughout this first half.
There's an opener for Cxzi, and make it 2. JBA will be up by Wiz. Danny does get dropped in the meantime, but only 1 casualty, not shabby at all. Stan will stay on the MAC-10 as he can't get to one of those rifles. Now we see a 2-0 start. The rifles finally coming in for EG. Will there be an op for Junior? There will not. They won't even attempt to fudge some numbers and grab that. They'll play a little more safe, a little more smart, perhaps, Nate. Just go for the 5 rifle buy. No kit, though. That's a problem. Because Forsaken still have a very strong investment. 2 Galils, 2 AKs, and a Mac. That could ruin a day.
Well, certainly could. It's an aggressive posturing towards A. 1 behind sandbags, 1 up on the rafters here. An automatic getting through that smoke towards the side hall. Open up the round, but again, that utility damage is punishing. Stanislaw takes down 1 in response, and Cxzi as well finally unseats automatic behind the smoke. Advantage secured for Forsaken, and they have 4 players still standing with rifles as well. No utility remaining for the defense. The issues are compounding for EG at this point. They have to make a play. No utility to use to stymie any sort of aggression.
Slow and steady now for Forsaken as they look to move their way on to a site proper. Up towards A they go. The ramp is open. 1 player here. Another in fast rotation. Nobody clearing in towards Ivy. Junior's able to just sit and chill. They do clear him out late, but Cxzi does fall. Bomb will be planted. Good fight by Wiz. Good win. There's that plan from JBA. Smoke to cover his retreat. Infinite with a flash in to make that a little easier for his teammate. Walco versus Wiz. 2 former teammates. Around the corner, Wiz still on a flashbang out, and Walco's going to say thank you very much for a free pick. Infinite's expected and removed. Well done from the in-game leader of EG, leaving it all up to the young gun JBA. Galil in hand, flash over top. Tapped by HexT. Good headshot, he needed that. No head armor on Walco. No helm to shield his head. JBA dancing around the boxes, the sandbags rather, and he will clutch it out. 3 to start things off for Forsaken. But that's much the same as they started off every single round yesterday. Every single map, every single game, Forsaken got out to a fast lead.
So did you mention their Achilles heel is the ending of the game? We didn't talk about the trend if it carried through on those final maps in the second matchup, but you mentioned every team that started CT lost.
Mm-hmm.
At least in our first matchup, and I think even for a couple maps in the second. Kind of an interesting trend that you can observe. And at Mac 10 for Stanislaw, aggression for a B split. X takes down Cxzi, Wiz drops Walco with another, and Stanislaw harvesting some cash with that Mac 10. He's just automatic and junior, both on Deagles, both looking to do the damage. They have found 2 thus far. The third would really cement this as a relatively costly round for Forsaken. Automatic might just save his Kevlar for the following. It would be a prudent call. Probably is also keen on grabbing one of those weapons. It was a Mac 10 and I believe a rifle dropped onto the ground. This might be a bloody exit. It depends on how far Forsaken want to go.
How far do they have to go?
It's a good question. The bomb radiuses have been changed. It's not that far. They can stay here. Use nades to keep them away at bay as well. No exit kills coming in for EG. 2 kills is respectable, but still not enough to really hamper this T economy. Wiz is going to bring out the Wiz cannon. This is a very good time to use a timeout for EG.
It's a good early timeout from EG before things get too out of control. The Opper's duel between Junior and Wiz is going to be a little bit funny too, because there might be a little bit of a chip on the shoulder of Wiz here up against his replacement on the EG roster. As for Junior, he hasn't gotten out to a hot start, so he'd like to get things going, as the T side is not going to be very friendly to his big green gun.
Interested to see the head-to-head as well, because Wiz was the Opera that looked the best in CS2 of the ones we saw yesterday. I felt like he was the one who took the smallest hit individually from the opping changes, and we'll have to see if that actually bears fruit in this one versus Junior, one of the hottest Oppers in NA.
Good nade damage exchanged across both sides. Stan running up the ramp, though. The flashbangs around him. He loads things up on automatic. Here comes Junior. Takes down Cxzi, but Stan there for the trade. Took a bit of an extra fight he didn't need to, and George will make him pay. 3v3 here. Still favors the T side. A lot of space to operate. But it's well read by EG. Look at the rotation back to B. They haven't seen the full contact. They think it's just Stan and Cxzi, so probably not going to be an A-side take now, boys, and they've made the right call. Forsaken, trying to pressure that pace a little bit more. They're going to make their way in on towards the B site. Good, well-timed flashbang. HexT will pop the head of Infinite, but he's a low HP player. JB has a lot of work to do, though, as Wiz has the op in hand, and he starts it off nicely. HexT gone from back pillar. In comes another flash. JBA a second on to Walco. It's up to George. Snorts. One swing, and he lives to tell the tale. Wiz needed to hit that shot. He'll cross with the bomb here. George backs away, playing a game of cat and mouse, using time to his advantage. Wiz knows he has to get the bomb down, but when will he bite? When will he make the move? When will he flinch? George out on the scaffolding. Wiz, you saw his legs, Wiz.
Had to have seen him.
Surely.
Does get away, though. That is the most important factor. Gives him an opportunity to reassess and rescope, most importantly. Wiz will not miss twice. You can tell the Opper feeling a little bit scared, a little bit lacking in confidence, I think is the best way to put it. Going for the double scope onto the elbow, not sure if it's actually going to connect, and of course the swing coming in at the worst possible time in that situation for Wiz. However, he does get it across the line. He does continue the victories in his team's favor. EG, that pause, got so close to getting them across the line, but close is only good enough in horseshoes and hand grenades. going to be a half buy. Some pistols, an MP9 for automatic. Spy can definitely do damage. Especially that kind of utility dumped onto Stanislav's head.
The pistol can one-tap Stanislav here. He's going to enter in as he has been. In-game leader is the tip of the spear, is not always a strat you see every day, but it's very effective because the in-game leader, once he's dead, one, has all the information on the side tick, so he can make the audible either to commit or to rotate away. Also, he just can spend the rest of the round being the battleship commander. Or the carrier group commander, as the case may be, and I feel like that's a good thing for in-game leaders to do. I think that's a smart decision from Stan. Let his teammates trade him out as well. Lineup opportunity for Cxzi. Eco frags there. 1, 2, 3. George was able to escape with 1 onto Wiz. That gun will be recovered, presumably in the hands of Stanislav at some point in the not-too-distant future. So the bomb goes down. HexT will just look for an exit, maybe a gun to pick up. But overall, 6th round all but secured for Forsaken. And EG really failing to put much of an effort. How does that 1v2 from JBA? That's the only round EG were ever in.
It's difficult. EG kind of stopped in their entirety. There's no kid either. At this point, I think Hex is just going for exits. One is pretty far removed from the bomb, though. Never mind. JBA is sticking around. No chance of Hex to do anything. Good spray from Jaba. 6-0 start. Guaranteed tie at half. That would only actually happen if something went cataclysmically wrong for Forsaken. It's another rifle buy for EG, and I almost want to say call another pause. Figure something out. The op of Junior was effectively stopped. It only got its 1 in the round before last. It kind of seemed disjointed. Not ready for the timings, not ready for the aggression from Stanislav as he just races up ramp time and time again.
Yeah, he's just gaining all that space, all that ground. Junior does get the opening this time, though. That's a very good start for EG. Something they've not had in a while is that opening pick. He gets the job done with the op. Stan eats an 8 out for the B. Stairs Infinite, spots out HexT, who does also spy Infinite. But the duel will not go either direction. Stan's blind. Nade will just do a little bit of chip onto Walco and HexT. Nothing worth writing home about. Slow and steady now. Forsaken trying to find a way back in with 2 players at about half HP. This boost up could do some damage, though. Junior's here. They drop off. He's heard it surely. He knows, and he strikes. JBA walk peeking into an op. It's not going to work. Wiz will also not share the same fate as Junior's the one to walk into the op. Finally, a response for Forsaken, but the damage has been done. Infinite and Stanislav, who is on a heater right now, with it all to do to get back into this.
The op really can't be the opener. Not like it was before. A lot of control being taken by AG down towards B. In the meanwhile, George snuffs out Wiz in middle. Nice double peek from automatic. George towards middle as well. Just Infinite. We talked about him having some heater games yesterday. He's been absent on this map. He really hasn't had to do anything given the rest of his team's standout performances thus far. But a 1 versus 4, no bomb in 20 seconds. Should at least try to find some damage. A second and a third kill would be pretty consequential here. Looks like a save is on the cards instead. Evil Genius is on the board. Better late than never, but still a long way to go to get back into this one. HexT will grab the op. 4 players surviving means that the economy for EG will still be okay. Forsaken, they have another buy in the bank as well. No questions there. What is the adjustment? Do EG try to go for more of the same? Do Forsaken do something different? The one thing I'm noticing, Forsaken get aggressive. It can work, but they are now being punished by utility almost every round.
Go for that pick. He spies Wiz. That's a crispy flick from Junior. That is about the fastest, most accurate CS2 flick I've seen yet. There was no hesitation, no mistake. Perfection from Junior on the aggressive peak. And that's going to become a problem for Forsaken if they let Junior do that. He's got 2.
Talk about
And
timing.
he's smiting him with Thor's hammer right there.
Very unfortunate for Cxzi. Pulled up the Molotov the instant Junior goes to the peak. He was holding that exact angle for at least 5 to 10 seconds.
Timings, man.
Now seeing an adjustment.
Something.
Yeah, Forsaken. This is a cute little boost over the smoke. Won't spot anything, though. EG going for a much more passive hold this time around. Player back sight. Player towards the generator. Denizal will group up with the squad. They know where HexT is, at least. Abe will do a good bit. He's still alive. That's the most important part. The Molotov might be an issue for Jaba and Infinite. Well, at this point, the play has been read. 3 players on B. Ready to greet them. Forsaken should probably exit the site. But no, they're going to fight Jaba. Good start. Hex on the back of the site should be caught by the flames now. Yes, he is. Jaba takes him down. 3 versus 3 secured. Junior's up. Posted on the angle, though. Finds one. A second, maybe, for the player up top. No, not quite. Infinite crossing the site. Will grab the bomb. Will go for the plant. 10 seconds remaining. A 2 versus 3 is difficult, but possible. Especially with Stanislaw up close to generator. Automatic. This flank is everything. And George, covering the op, should seal the fate of this round. Automatic on the flank. Totally unexpected. Second in a row on the board for the EG defense.
That one got a little scary for EG, and I think that JPA did a great job of actually opening something up and trying to get it through, but in the end, EG are able to stabilize that fling from Automatic, saving the day, and Stanislaw not able to get anything done also. Kind of puts them in a bit of a pickle. But now, it's a bit of a broken buy for Forsaken. They don't have the money they once did. 2 Galils, 2 AKs, and a Tech 9 on the hands of Stan. Infinite hasn't seen too much contact. And unlucky for him, it's going to take him a little bit longer to get into the game in actuality. Junior goes for another flick. This time he doesn't connect it. That's going to allow Stan to slip through and pass the Molotovs as well. Lots of utility being dumped on a ramp. And Forsaken are circumnavigating it for now. They haven't gone all the way through. They haven't penetrated the site yet. They're still congregating back ramp. They're running out of utility. They're going to have to start making a move, either drawing out a fake or pushing in towards the side or rotating off soon. Flash goes high. They're going to try and take this. Surely Cxzi's hot. Junior up top. He does. Neither player connecting, as now is a retreat from Forsaken with about a minute on the clock. And they've drawn the rotations. The only thing is it's going to take so long to go back to B. EG are going to have the read.
They already have it as well. Automatic pressing forward, probing for information, knows that ramp has been vacated. It's going to be a B play, and EG are just wrapping them up like a gift. Going for the flank. Sure, Forsaken might take the site if they go quickly enough, but they probably aren't going to get the round. Something massive transpires here in the ensuing take. 4 players on site, Cxzi taking the point. Junior takes out Infinite. Cxzi a trade short, but Junior and Automatic combined. George as well, finding one on the Jaba. The last is live is the IGL towards middle. It's Stanislaw. Tech 9 in hand. And 15 seconds left. Junior's already posted on the angle. There should be no chance for anything in this round. Does Stanislaw really want to save just the Tech 9? Probably not. He has to try and do something. Right? Surely he tries to do something.
No, apparently not. That's going to break the economy.
I'm baffled by that one.
Yeah.
Attack pause territory, perhaps, considering the fact you have to go for a buy now.
Yeah, that's awkward.
You're going to half buy regardless.
If that was the call initially, then okay, fine. But if it wasn't, it puts Forsaken into a position where they're having to react to a misplay. And that is not what you want to do right now. Especially considering you had a 6-0 start. Forsaken, you want to at least get the half out of this one, and it's proving to be a little more difficult now. Good adaptations by EG, really fueled by Junior's op. That's been the X factor right now, is Junior hitting everything. HexT now getting some confidence on the ecos. Walco is swap positions with him. And Junior, of course, comes in for the last kill. Flawless round for EG, barely taking any damage. Now we get the actual guns again for Forsaken. But will we? Because it's going to be a bit of a neutered buy. They don't have the funds to go all in. Because a certain someone did not die before the clock expired.
Attack pause. They're probably going to go for an investment of some kind. I can already see it. Yep. Cxzi can go for the Galil. Everybody else, excluding Stanislaus, should be able to get AKs. And Stan, he has been a menace with the SMG. I will give him that. I want to see something a little bit more aggressive elsewhere. They've gone A ramp. It's been effectively neutered by early utility. They've gone B. It's been caught by some early forays up top of the wood paneling, for example. Maybe something towards middle. We have seen Stanislaus push over for a B split and find success there. Maybe something earlier out the gate with more presence towards the middle instead.
Fast A ramp seems to be the call right now for Forsaken. They've done this plenty of times before to solid success early, middling into none at later rounds. Flashbang in automatic mode down, Cxzi one, not the second though. George somehow finding two, blind from Sandbag. He'll chill out and spray away. Junior doesn't even have to do anything as far as killing is concerned. He takes quite a bit of damage though on that contact. Slow and steady here. JBA knows there's somebody in mid because of that flash. What's the call? What's the play? JB is so isolated. He almost has to wait for his teammate's stairs to get something done, and that smoke I don't think was intentional.
Yeah, Jaba cutting off rotations. That's a good start, tying it back up. Drawing HexT back towards middle at the jump over. Gives his teammates a brief window to enter B if they so desire. That's smoke though from HexT. Throws a little bit of a spanner in the works. Jaba has rotated back down and around. It's going to be a B play. 40 seconds left. HexT trying to harass as the site is taken. Good flash for the peek. He finds one. He spots two. He gets the second to boot. Just Jaba towards middle. He caught the rotation. Now he has to do it all over on the B site. He's waiting for him. Good pre-fire, but HexT had jumped up, and HexT through the smoke will find the head of Jaba. 5-6. And I can't help but feel the caster's curse is in full effect, Boggs. They said they guaranteed a tie at half at minimum, and it shouldn't come through unless something cataclysmic happens. Looks like something cataclysmic has happened. As Forsaken have lost 5 in a row, their bye is neutered here. This is looking like a tied ball game as this first half concludes.
Nice spray from automatic. Only yields one so far. No trade back. Stan finally catches him. George from Sandbags only able to get nothing this time. Man advantage for Forsaken, something they've not had in a very long time. Walco still milling about the site. Has support from HexT as well, who's working around the utility amassed in front of the default plant spot. Slow and steady, Nate. Slow and steady now for Forsaken. They're coasting along in the current.
This is what they wanted. They wanted a favorable or at least even early duel. And from there, they can slow things down and figure out the rest of the map. Once you take down one defender, somewhere on the map has to have compromised defense. That's the kind of name of the game that Forsaken have been playing at.
EG are doing well to hold their nerve on A. They're not rotating off. They're keeping their numbers advantage. Well, what is not an advantage, but their best advantage. On the site, Walco swings out. That's a good start. Now it's a tie ball game, making a man advantage, but Wiz comes in with a nice opener. Cxzi there to back him up. All up to Junior now. Op in hand, 1v2. Over top and down he falls. 7-5 as we hit the halftime break. Time break.
It's right in front of me. Right in front It's right in front of me. It's right in front of me. Right in front of me. Right in front of me. Give me some clarity. First time that we met not long ago. Before you had to get back on the road. We spend every second of the day together. I remember when we talked till 3 a.m. Driving around in town in your old van.
Forsaken salvaged what was a killer start to the first half, ending at an overall score of 7-5, but it's just a shadow of what it could have been. I'm Pineapple Phillips, joined by Boggs, and Boggs, a 6-0 start for Forsaken, followed by 5 in a row for EG, and capped off with at least a consolation prize. It does not instill confidence in Forsaken going forward into the second half.
Yeah, this is... Well, pistol rounds in general in CS2 are much more important than they were in Go, just given the lack of overall rounds. Hex with a good opener here as he picks off Stanislaw. No response yet from Forsaken. There we go. Wiz with a nice little dome against his former compatriot. Long-time teammates all the way back to the RBG days. Bomb going down now. Good nade to chase him off. Second nade does a lot of damage too. Junior 3, automatic 26. Bomb plant here for EG. That's nice. But they have to be able to hold on to this one. Wiz another one on to Junior this time. Walco, George, and automatic. The last two standing. One in sandbags, 2 out towards Ivy. Wiz clearing that direction. Bait on the tap. George swings out. Can't get anything. Cxzi one. George will not take out the planner. At least in time. Wiz to the knife. He'll fall. He doesn't really care. Job is done for Forsaken. They get the pistol round victory. The only problem is they let the plant go down, which means EG can buy up. Still, Nate, that puts Forsaken in a very good spot to take this map.
I'm very confused. It does put them in a good spot to win this map, don't get me wrong. It allows EG to force, that's something. However, the thing that confuses me the most is the fact that George had a full defuse time to snipe that guy defusing the bomb.
I think it was only a 5.
From sandbag. Still 5 seconds to sit there still and spam the defuser. George was alive the whole time the bomb was defused. I don't know if it was a wonky hitbox or if he just missed his shots we didn't get to see, but he was at sandbags with a free kill onto 2, and he only just got them after the bomb was defused.
That's a nice bit of util on towards site from EG. Nades and mollies to clear out the site proper. Infinite the one there. He's only got 1 kill so far. Needs to get activated here. Bomb goes down as the retake is at least posturing to be on from Forsaken. I don't know if they're actually going to go for it, Nate. It probably isn't the best course of action, all things considered. They might as well just save here.
I don't see a kid on the field either, which makes this even more difficult, but they're going to try something.
GG go next.
Now you definitely go next. The last 2 players have rifles. Okay. Yeah, they stuck around for a little bit too long, perhaps. Wiz, alive in elevator. You're hunting for him. He'll find 1 at least. Can you get more? That's the question. 2, not the 3rd. George, a double dink with the MAC-10. That's a couple rifles upgraded, and that is a big response from EG to keep things relatively contentious in this second half. They steal away the momentum. And as we know, a second round loss for the CTs like that is brutal for the economy. They're going to try to force buy. I'm not even going to try to do the Yoda impression, Boggs. I'm sorry. But
begun the Force by Wars have.
That was probably your best one yet. I'll give you that.
I'm working on it.
That was a good one. We're getting there.
Thank you.
But it is a full suite of pistols, and that's it. 2 5.7s, 3 Deagles. These can be potent weapons, but to see how well they actually do. Another boost coming in from Forsaken. We saw one in the pistol round. We'll see one now in round 3. Player sandbag Stanislaw. The IGL is again just getting bullied out of the round.
He sat in that molly for so long. And the boost is going to yield 21 damage. That is far from ideal. JBA needed down low. Another one falling is Cxzi. It's a disastrous round for Forsaken. That's at least something. It's a small victory, if you could even call it that. It's more just a desperation ploy. An infinite. Only 1 kill. Infinite possibilities. The one logical outcome is a death at some point in an EG round.
Might save the Deagle and the armor for the following. Could give his team a little bit of bite in the following when they should be on a full save. But I can't help but feel at this stage that Forsaken have some really good strategies. They're just not the best to adapt. They don't get the best mid-game reads. They can't adapt too well. I feel like that's what probably gave Nouns the way back in, because Nouns is a notoriously adaptable team yesterday. They pulled off the reverse sweep. It's probably what makes it so difficult for them to close out games as well.
We're going to have a tie game here. EG are definitely proving to be a lot more malleable right now. Forsaken, a much newer roster, played through Advanced. I didn't know you could do, I don't know if you called them karaoke's back when you played Tennis 8 or whatever. It kind of looks like skating crossovers. Didn't know you could do that in Counter-Strike 2. In comes the ramp scrim, though. Stan at least gets 1. Walco will get another here, and maybe a couple more kills for the CT side after all is said and done. But just the one, it's nice, it's something, but it's a throwaway round for Forsaken. Forsaken only called 1 timeout so far, right?
I believe so.
Then call a timeout going into this next gun round. You can't lose it if you're Forsaken. That puts you down 10-8. 3 rounds, EG have the map. It's your pick. You need to find a way to hold the line on the CT side. JBA might have enough to get Wiz and Op, but it's not going to be a pretty buy.
No, won't be pretty. We'll have to make some concessions for sure. Plant goes down. A little bit extra cash as well for EG. We're just focusing on making this round clean. They know Stanislaw should have next to nothing in this round, so they aren't too keen on hunting him down either. Next is going to guard that AK. Actually, he might even throw it out. No chance for Stanislaw to get that now. 8-8. Guaranteed. Question is, can Stanislaw tap away another? Even just a dink might put a player within range of that bomb radius. He'll run through. Some damage. No kill. I don't think it'll do anything. Nope. Somewhere relatively close, but not close enough. And we do have a tied ball game, Boggs. Rifles coming out. No op on the cards for Forsaken. Junior is going to bring it out. He just dropped his rifle. He's definitely bringing out the big green. There it is. A T-side op versus just rifles for Forsaken.
And Junior's proven he likes to peek, and he has success with that on the T side. Over towards ramp. The smoke is down. One-ways don't really exist. They patched the one-way that existed for a ramp about a day later. Just goes to show what Valve thinks about one-ways right now. Junior can't use that, neither can Forsaken. Cxzi tries to escape, and Junior spots the crook of the elbow. That was a pixel-perfect shot. Not the start that Forsaken want or need. EG looking for revenge in that spot at ESL Challenger Jönköping. Just a couple months' time.
It's a slow one, though. EG still biding their time. Sandsot is hiding over towards the side hall. Just past that minute remaining. EG have made a decision. They're going to push towards ramp. Forsaken do have the correct read. They're rotating over towards A, but EG aren't necessarily fully committed as of yet.
1 for 1. It's not enough. They're down a man. They need some clean duels. And here's the other problem. George has B. A's still the target. George can flank.
I don't think A's the target anymore. No, it's not.
It's a good call.
I say I know they have the main advantage. I know if Fifth's not coming. I just didn't know where George was lurking. Now it's clear. He has complete control of B. Infinite was just towards elevators watching for a flank. This is going to be a save from Forsaken. Almost guaranteed at this stage. A retake towards B with this lacking utility, almost impossible, especially when you're a man down. So these M4s should be trying to save in this round. We'll have to see if EG allow such a play.
I don't know. Forsaken are falling off here. They get out to these fast starts, and then they just get stomped. They're never able to get going again. Their momentum just gets stymied. They get stuck in the mud. As try as they might, spin as many wheels as they can. All it does is spit out the mud. It doesn't get them moving anywhere, Nate. They need to find some planks to put down so they can gain some traction again. And that op might be the key. The only problem is they can't afford one.
There's an issue when Junior is still as confident as he was on CSGO as well. We mentioned how Wiz felt a little bit more trepidatious, a little more worried on the big green on the offense. It's clearly not the same situation for Junior. Still making some crisp ones. Infinite. A very slow map one. On the planks, trying to peek towards B, is immediately caught. He will do nothing. And the op of Junior has done very well to open up these rounds. Looks like a B commitment is probably going to come through in the near future. Cxzi still holding for that flank from automatic. But a lot of weight is on JBA's shoulders on this B site.
This 4v4 scenario, the most favorable for Forsaken in a while. Struggling to get anything going on the CT side. Very slow round from EG, trying to bait Forsaken into some pushes. Cxzi might be willing to oblige, but he thinks better of it. 2 mid, 1A, 1B. JBA has to do a ton of work here as the utility now starts to fly on through. He's got no util to work with. He has to do it all with the gun. Cxzi has the lone bit of utility now with that Molotov in hand. Wiz can support JBA, but the smokes will wall them off the site. George around, keeping an eye on things. Bomb going down. And this means it's a tough retake for Forsaken. George up close. Messy duel, but he's won it. Now Forsaken might just be waving the white flag, and look where Walco's hiding. He's ready to punish.
So ready. Very heads up play from him. This could very much hamstring the economy going forward. Sure, Forsaken have a loss bonus, but realistically they need to keep up all 3 weapons if they want to buy in the following. And Walco is looking rather keen on dropping at least one of them. That's a information. It's near impossible now for Walco to get something, and he is caught. No one should fall. That is at least a silver lining, I suppose, for Forsaken, but they are firmly out of the driver's seat. They're not even in shotgun. They're in the back seat. Maybe the trunk, honestly. EG have run away with this one, taking all the momentum. We do finally see attack pause called by Forsaken to talk things out. I think the biggest issue right now, EG across the board are a unit. The top frag and the bottom frag, George and Automatic, are separated by a total of 4 kills. There is no weak link that Forsaken can exploit. Whereas I hate to point a finger, there is a player on Forsaken who's quite literally on 1 kill.
Yeah. That's a bit of a problem. It's and I'm sure Infinite's not feeling very happy about it. He's probably trying to figure out how to get out of this funk because he's snake bit right now. It's not a fun place to be. 1 kill, 19 rounds into a game.
He's been hungry. I mean, he's been going for those entries. He was up on top of the plank there towards B. He was the first casualty in the last round.
Just
It's not
can't
like
catch
he's
a
not
break.
trying. He just can't catch a break. Junior's op has been zesty on the openings today. We were questioning it a lot yesterday. Today, it's a very different beast altogether.
Infinite. He's there waiting on B for somebody to walk up, although he has to be very careful from getting naded into oblivion or mollied out of position and then shot. Cxzi waiting for some contact towards A. Here's utility flying and goes for the preemptive spray. A seems to be the preliminary target, though. Some bit of congregating out towards ramp. Utility now starting to be thrown for the tees. EG playing very slow and methodical, but it's working. They don't need to really pump up the gas. They don't need to pick up speed. They can keep on going, gliding with the wind. They don't have to turn on that engine. Just keep on coasting. 1 round at a time. 1 kill at a time. 1 massive amount of nade damage received at a time, apparently. It's a good response, but Forsaken need to close this out. They've done the starting work. Now they have to close it.
Held on to utility as well for this take. Very well done taking their utility on the side of Forsaken, and Cxzi opens things up well. Stanislaw spotted in low, but still be a menace. And Jaba looking for the rotation watch in middle, finds that. Junior's going to try to bail the team out. He has traded the op to his lit teammate, but he's now left on an island and alone. 7 seconds left. He's gifted the first. He knows where the second is, but with only 5 seconds, it's near impossible. He's going to try to go down fighting before time expires, and he will at least succeed in that endeavor. Beyond that, I don't think he shall. The op not recovered. A little bit too far away. Walco's body all the way back towards the ramp. And Forsaken finally back on the board after losing the pistol round conversion, but they're still having to fight back to tie things up.
It's a good round for Forsaken. Their utility did a very good start. They closed it out a little bit more messy than they would have liked. They got it done in the end. Able to reinvest fully too. The op for Wiz is something you need to keep an eye on. Junior throws his away. Does not pick it back up, which is an interesting choice. Something to keep an eye on. Maybe a faster pace here as they're already halfway up the ramp. Utility going into sandbags. Ivy going to be contacted here. Cxzi waiting for it. That is not the best case hard pattern, I just have to say. But we'll see what he can do with that AK in hand. Automatic up close sprays, and he gets taken down by Stan. Walco looking for frags, but it's Stanislaw on top of the box. 2 for 1. Cxzi here as well, and George will be his victim. Junior and Hex, the last 2 standing. Cxzi finally falls. Hex out in middle, brings it to a 2v2, and things have just collapsed. Forsaken had so much going for them. Now it's dead even. And also, how does JBA eat that nade? Literally bounces a foot in front of his face, and he only takes 25 damage.
It was a little further away than you might expect. Also could have bitten out part of the explosive. Quick thinking there to reduce the damage taken. It's a double back from EG. It's called the mind games. Forsaken also playing the game right, just grouping up, playing as a pair. This round could go either direction. Kits are here. There's a smoke and a flash for Jaba. Could be used for a defuse. Hex and Junior, though, have complete control. The smoke, as that blooms, they'll hear it. They'll know it's up. Plant coming through. Junior and Hex versus Wiz and Jaba. AKs versus AKs. Rotations both coming in from heaven. Junior sandbags his teammate towards the side hall, both playing far back, waiting for a tap on the bomb. Smart call. I like the smoke forward with the Junior already ahead of it. Looking for the first, he'll find a timing onto him. Wiz, good trade from the Opera. Taps the bomb, trying to draw the player up. Has no idea where he's lurking. HexT misses the spray. Wiz flicks around, finds the frag, the 1 versus 2, and the defuse to boot. Forsaken gifted a 10th. They tie it right back up. Wiz gets the Wiz cannon, but the T side, or the CT side economy, excuse me, has taken a hefty blow. 4 players falling.
Yeah, it's a lucky round to win from Forsaken. Wiz putting up a bit of magical effort, but it's still not enough to get it over the line.
Just enough to tie it up. That's it.
They're barely able to scrounge together a bye, too. Incredibly light on utility, considering they've won 2 rounds in a row. Only 3 players total surviving those 2 rounds. Not been clean. It's been anything but for Forsaken. They need to really start getting things together, or it's not going to be a pretty end to their map pick of Vertigo. Again, if you are just joining us, map 2 is Inferno, 3 is Overpass if necessary.
I'm excited. I know we haven't seen Overpass as of yet. We didn't see him yesterday.
I'm still happy to see Inferno in CS2 too, just because of how different the map is.
Kept thinking it would be CT-sided, and it was so T-sided yesterday.
But then the other one we saw was incredibly CT-sided.
It's true. Still in that primordial funk, as you'd put it, getting figured out. Cxzi, a mid-round call, progression towards side hall, and automatic spots the barrel. That's a big one for him to find. He is the lurk over towards A. Walco the plays actually towards the middle instead. J-Buck falls off the boost, looking for one, but it's Walco instead who finds the kill. Second on backside, Infinite now has to do it all. He's found his second in this map, and he needs to do even more. Smoke in front, but there's too many angles to worry about. George from the side picks him down. Sure, Stanislav finally unseats the flanking player, but he is now up the creek without a paddle. An AK in hand, a 1 versus 3, and across the map from the action. This has to be a save from the IGL, and it has to be an 11.
It's got to be a save. An 11th round to EG, no money for Forsaken. It almost feels as if they have been forsaken by the CS2 gods, Nate. Nothing going right. Timing's going wrong. Infinite cannot catch a break.
There's nothing he could do there either.
No.
Just bullied him.
Again, he can't catch a break.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's his fault necessarily. It's the fact that he's getting caught off by a peeking op of Junior, one of the best to do it. Getting caught literally between George and a hard place in middle. And this is probably a good time to call a tactical timeout. Actually, I would say save it for the next round, but who knows? They might go for a 4. Stanislav could drop an A1S. Could see some MP9s perhaps on the table. They could go all in on this round.
Going all in here is not a terrible call, except for the fact that if you lose, you're pretty much done. But you have to fight for overtime if you don't die. It's a certified Kobayashi Maru. There is no winning situation. There is no right answer here. There is only pick your poison. And Forsaken, go for the third option, Nate, that I didn't mention. Half buy. It gives you a minor chance of success. Doesn't really hurt you all too much.
It's going to hamstring the buy in the following, though.
A little bit. Also, who's case hardened is that AK?
Can't see whose it is, I'm sorry.
It is not it, man.
Go player by player. G side is EG. Boosts again. We've seen so many boosts from Forsaken, and none of them have worked out. Junior drops Java. Walco finds Cxzi. It's not going to be a split towards Beta. Infinite again, stuck between a rock and a hard place. He'll get 1, 2, potentially. Okay, Infinite. What a time to come alive. He needs more, though. Good flash, but not caught out. 11 HP. He'll survive. He's taken down. George drops Wiz as well. A moment of brilliance from Infinite, but only a flash in the pan. Just Stanislav, the IGL, the rifle wielder, in a 1v3. Over the smoke, he looks for something. But nothing is going to be given. It's not for free.
They've heard it. They have to know. That'll telegraph where he is. Another smoke to hold off the angles, and the flank coming in from well, I believe. Doesn't even matter. George is gone for the fight and taking down Stan. Maybe that's a good start for Infinite to build some confidence, though, because now Forsaken can't afford to lose any of these last 2 rounds of this half. They want to take it all the way to overtime.
He wakes up, it's doable.
Mm-hmm. Because they've been playing 4v5, essentially.
Yeah. 4v5 with a player who's meant to trade.
Yep. But he's been taking a lot of first contacts, which is unlucky.
He's gone for first contacts. He's also just been stuck with a supporting player who falls first. And then when you're up the creek alone, it's just there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, at that point, I just need to get something, and then it's nades, Molotovs, no dice.
Yeah, that last round, he probably should have found nothing, honestly, given the dire straits he was in, and yet he still found a pair.
Whiz cannon time. He's got the op.
Shit, yeah, he has the op, but he's not that aggressive, flashy opera like Junior. He's been much more of a quieter workhorse for the team.
Look at the lack of utility on Forsaken, too. No mollies, just smokes on 4, flashes on 3, 2 nades. It's pretty paltry.
No one on B either. It's a double stack middle, triple stack A.
This is a gamble and a half.
Speaking of gambles, kind of like a contact play up B as well. Player's top of the stairs, not going to race in. Infinite tries to do something. Again, first contact, and again, first out. At least he took a swing. George gonna get the bomb to dirt. No reason to save, of course. Their backs are against the wall, Forsaken. They have to do it all. Jaba finds one. Walco, though, keeps the man advantage in his team's favor, firmly so. Try to harass the utility as best they can, but Walco still thinks he still has an opportunity. One more before he's traded. George as well. Back Generator finds one. 1v3 again for the IGL, and he walks right into Junior's crosshair. A 13-10 scoreline for EG. As they take their opponent's map pick. And again, they started off super slow, horrendously slow. Keep in mind, it was an 0-6 scoreline to start the game, and yet they brought it back. And by the end of it, they were most assuredly